Are you dealing with depression and you're just sick and tired of it? Well, listen to this video. I'm going to show you exactly what I did in 3 areas of my life. And it took me from debilitating depression, where I was literally stuck in the house for months at a time, to where you see me now. I'm traveling the world and I am currently living in Johannesburg, South Africa. And hey, my name's Jason. In case you haven't seen the channel before, you see me go around showing you the beauty of Johannesburg, showing you how great of a place it is here in South Africa, and most importantly, you be hearing me talk about success, what it is, and how to get it in the 3 areas of life that I focus on, which are happiness, health, and wealth. And so if you're not familiar with the definition of success, or you may have just forgotten it from a previous video, Success by Earl Nightingale is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. And next to money, one of the most worthy ideals that I can think of is not being depressed. Now, anybody out there that's dealing with depression, whether it's at a small level or it's at a huge level, you will agree with that, because nothing about depression I went to war. I saw things that a human being should not have to see in their life. And I hope we get to the point very soon where we stop these things. Like, mental health is so valuable. And it's one of the things that we put no value on throughout this world. And it's the most valuable thing that we can have. Like, if we really want to reach our goals and be successful and be happy in life, you gotta have a good mental health. The same way as if you want to be an athlete, you want to be able to walk around, run around, jump, and do these things, you gotta be in good physical health. And so we're not talking about these things. So this is why I want to start talking about these things now and just being completely open and honest with it. And so the treatment modality that Cece helped me with was ACT, Acceptance Commitment Therapy. If you watch my video about what it's really like coming home from war and being a veteran, I talk more detail about ACT and all of that. And so with her, when she started learning this treatment modality, her specialty of focus was mind, body, spirit. And this is how we approached me. And this is how we used it for me and for my advantage. And so we focused literally on mind, body, spirit. Everything we were doing was centered around mind, body, spirit. Even to this day, like sometimes when people ask me to do things or go to certain places and I say no and they're shocked, they don't realize it doesn't align with my trifecta of my mind, body, spirit. So I don't do anything that doesn't align with that. And so I'm going to break those down and share with you exactly some of the things that I was doing in each one. So let's start with the mind. I think the mind is the first one you got to start with. It's so many people want to start with the physical part, our body. However, our body is one of the last things that shows everything. So like, if you're someone in constant pain or someone that's having weight issues, things like that, it's not your body that's the problem. First thing you should focus on is your mind, the way you're thinking, your thoughts, and things like that. I'm telling you from personal experience. Someone who was well over 300 plus kilograms, 600 plus pounds. I was fat, sick, and nearly dead. I was literally on my deathbed every day. It reminded me of an old saying my grandmother used to say. I was literally one foot in the grave and one on a banana peel, just waiting to slip. And it was this trifecta that helped save me and put me to where I am now. So by all means, if you want to use or try any of these things for your life, I say, hey, try it. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? And there's no harmful side effects from the things that I'm going to share with you. So working with the mind, the first thing you want to start doing is monitoring your thoughts. What are you thinking about? Now, that's easier said than done. So one of the best ways you need to monitor your thoughts is what type of TV shows are you watching? What type of radio broadcasting are you listening to when you're in your car? Now, these things are important because you may be like, I don't listen to that much radio. Oh, I don't really pay attention to it. It's going into your subconscious mind. The more you're not paying attention to it, the worse it probably is for you. So what I mean by that is, are you listening to gossipy things? Are you listening to these talk show radios in the morning where they're talking about gloom and doom, why there's so much poverty, and all of their solutions they're giving you don't lead to anything successful at all? Nothing's progressive about it because they're just telling you to keep doing the same thing over and over again. Or are you watching TV shows at night that's about murder, that's about violence, that's about death, about stealing? If you're watching all of these things, you're subconsciously programming yourself to only see those things or find those things in the world. It's the law of attraction. Like, even if you're in a depressed state, you're attracting that depressed state. Now, it's not victim blaming. I'm telling you this from personal experience. Once I changed the way I was doing these three areas, my depression started easing. Now, am I saying I'm never depressed? There's moments I still have depression. Just mind you, my wife passed away last year, unexpectedly in the middle of the night. You know, me and her in bed together, and she passed away. Like, I still have moments of depression. However, I'm not debilitated through that depression, and that's a big difference. Having little small moments and having big blocks of windows of depression, they're nowhere near in the same ballpark. It's like, meeting a Martian. Living on Mars and living on Earth, I don't think it's going to be the same living. So that's how big these things are. And then the other thing is, when you're watching your TV shows, like, really be mindful of what those shows are telling you. They're bringing you messages, and they're bringing you. The way they're bringing you these messages is through the pictures that you see. We actually think in pictures. So when you're just watching these pictures and you're just not paying attention, they're just going in, And every blue moon, one of them slip into your subconscious mind. And when you start getting enough of those bad images slipping into your subconscious mind, you start believing the world is dangerous. Like, I'm gonna give you a prime example. And I'm embarrassed about this now where I am in life, but you may understand it. Because I went to war, when I first came back to went back to the United States after the war, I was afraid of Islamic people. I was terrified of them because the picture in my head from going to war was, this is what that type of people do. This is what they look like. This is what they dress. And it's not the truth. It's not true at all. And that's how deep pictures can be, especially your environment, things like that. And so, like, if you're in a bad environment, you want to start seeing yourself in a better environment. How do you see yourself in a better environment? Go outside of that environment. Any free time that you have in a day, go to another area. Go to a place where you can sit out and you can just sit out and just bask in the sun. Sit out in the park and watch kids play. I used to go to just a little mini, what's them things called? The little kids league, like football and baseball games, and just watch them. And people be like, oh, you have kids? I'm like, nah, man, I'm just here to chill, relax, and I just want to see kids enjoying themselves having a sporting game. And I would just meet people, talk to people, and it started reprogramming me to start seeing, one, the world is a safe place, and two, there are safe people in the world. And then the next thing, dealing with your mind, you want to start let me see if I can read my handwriting. You want to start preparing yourself through the night. And what I mean by that is, how are you priming yourself at night? We don't just wake up and start our day, popular the way most people think. We actually prime ourselves all through the night while we're sleeping, and then our day reflects to what we primed through the sleep. So what I mean by priming yourself through the night, are you playing things at night that are going to help you wake up and think a certain way? So one of the things that I do frequencies at night. I listen to different frequency hertz. And then I also listen to different guided meditations and self-hypnosis at night. All of them around how great I am, how rich I am, how great of a person I am, how healthy I am. All of those things are things around positive aspects of me. And so I wake up energetic. I feel great. I knock out my 50 push-ups when I get up. And I'm drinking my water. I drink my smoothie. Like, all of these things that make it a lot easier for me because I've primed my mind through the night to start my day that way. And so that's something that works really, really well. And if you want to get into the priming yourself, one of the things you can do is just go on YouTube and go to like I am affirmations. They have some that go for 11 hours, 12 hours. I usually just pick one and just put it on loop, and I just let it go over and over and over again all through the night. And it's so, I'm so used to it now. Like, if for some reason, like when load shedding or something hit that cuts it off, I actually wake up instantly when I stop hearing it. So it's very powerful. Then let's move over to the spirit, because we work mind, body, spirit. That's the way she taught me. And with the spirit, one of the things I started doing was asking myself and discovering who I am. Like, asking yourself, who am I, is one of the most powerful questions you can ever ask yourself. And you will get an answer back. If you listen to Jordan Peterson, when he tells you, if you really want to change and grow, sit on the side of your bed at night before bed and just ask yourself, who am I? And you will start getting answers just like he says. Like, I can tell you this from hands down. Like, he is telling you the truth on it. You will get answers, whether you like those answers or not. You will get the answers that you need. And when you start getting those answers, then you need to start seeing, like, okay, what parts of my life I need to correct. I remember when I was in Central America in Panama, after some couple of events had happened, and Cece and I were talking, and she expressed some concern. And I had to ask myself, I was like, okay, who am I? Who is Jason? Who am I? Like, am I moving another country and I'm going to still be the same type of husband to her, like the same type of guy where, let me just tell you a story. So the story is, I was buying some weed and a guy ripped me off. So I was about to throw him off the overpass. I tell you, man, like, the guy you see now was not who I used to be. Like, I used to be out there, man. I used to be out there. And so I was going to throw him over the overpass, and she talked me down from doing it. And then she had a conversation. She's like, "Look, man, I didn't come and move to another country for you to end up getting yourself killed or get put in jail." She was like, "I want my husband here with me," and that really hit me. And so I really started asking, I'm like, "Who am I? Like, am I this violent person? Am I this person that just want to hurt people?" Like, and I started getting the answers, and the answer told me from my military experience, the things I saw and had to go through, that capability is inside of me. And most people may be like, "Oh man, really?" But that capability is inside all of us. And when I started really understanding my demons, I started understanding how closer to God I could be. Like, it sounds crazy, but the moment you start becoming more aware of your demons, you can become closer to the God that's in you. And that helped me so much. And that's why, like, I tell people now, like, I took a pledge, a vow, like, I don't want to be a violent or angry person ever again. Like, I'm not interested in fighting with people. I'm not interested in arguing with people. Like, if we can't smile and laugh, I'd rather just walk on and go my own way. Like, I don't care if people are like, "Oh, you're a punk, you're scared." Like, okay, I just don't have no interest in that. And because I started living that type of way, like, that's why traveling the world has been very easy for me. I'm gonna be honest. Like, no one bothers me because people know I'm not there to bother them. And then the second part you want to do on top of that is you want to start asking yourself, what do you want? Your spirit is about want. It's not about needs. That's one of the biggest misconceptions most of us have been taught from previous generations. Because those generations, their needs were not, the system they lived in was not developed enough to provide the basic needs for humans. We have all been carrying down this message of, be happy for what you got. You don't need to be focused on what you want. You need to be focused on what you want. Your spirit is about expansion. And how we expand is through the things that we want in life. Yes, they could be materialistic things. Yes, they may be actual metaphysical things. Like, I have metaphysical goals that I want to expand to. I have physical goals that I want to expand to. I want to be able to have a private jet. That's one of my biggest physical goals that I have right now. I want a private jet. I want to be able to just fly wherever I want, whenever I want. And there's nothing wrong with finding out what you want, but really dig deep and make sure it's what you want and not what you've been programmed or primed to want. That's why, like, sometimes when people get mad at me when I'm knocking luxury brands and things like that, they don't have the understanding that you don't know if you even really want that brand. You've been primed and programmed to think you want that from social media, from brand influencers, from shows like Keeping Up with the Kardashians, from commercials, and just from psychological poverty patterns. And what I mean by the psychological poverty patterns is there's certain things that you can do to any community to force them to want to give up their money for things that they don't even necessarily really want. And until you have a true understanding of that and understanding of how marketing comes into play with that, most people don't know what they want. There's so many people out here walking with Gucci or Armani and things like that when they come into money. However, when they become broke or something like that, they start saying like, "Man, I wish I would have just bought a couple of properties, extended my mom's house out." Those were the things that they really wanted. They didn't want all those physical things, all those cars, and that's why they wasn't able to keep hold of it. And so really, really focus on that if you're going to do the spiritual aspect of discovering who you are. Ask that question, who am I? And then start really figuring out what you want, not what everybody else wants. It's like, and before I move on to the body, I'm going to say this, like, it's like with me traveling the world, being a nomad now. So many people thought I was going to either stay in Colombia or stay in America. That's not what I wanted. So what I wanted was to leave. I wanted to keep traveling. I wanted to keep moving, keep learning, keep growing, keep expanding. And when I was in Colombia in the US, I was depressed. My depression was getting worse and worse and worse because I was not fulfilling what my spirit wanted. My spirit wanted to keep traveling and keep going, not stay comfortable. And so that's how powerful that is. And then let's go to the body. Now, the body is all about physical. So when you want to start getting the body and transitioning to a different state, you must do it through physical things. And this is why I did this one last, because if your mind's not thinking clearly and if your spirit's not in it, to be able to move and go into physical things, it's going to be hard. Let's just be real. I wasn't 600 plus pounds because I didn't have some desire to be smaller or be healthier. However, I was focusing all of my energy on the body first without addressing my mind and spirit. And so I couldn't do it. This is why I couldn't find any diet or eating lifestyle that worked for me. This is why I couldn't get any type of exercise regimen together, because I was trying to focus on the physical when I should have been focusing on the mind and the spirit first. And so this is one of the hacks to it right here. So this is why I gave you this very specific order. And so what you want to do with the body is, first thing, start going to new places. Just hop on Google, hop on YouTube, and just be like, fun places to go in such and such, fun places to go in Joburg. This is what I do sometimes. Once you start going to those places, people are going to start recommending other things to you to go to. Once you start going to those other places also, your whole perception changes of your environment, of where you live. This is how, like, some people here, they'll tell me, oh, Joburg is so dangerous. And I tell people, Joburg is not dangerous. It's still considered one of the top 5 safest cities that I've been in. And for a city of this magnitude, how big it is, the only reason I don't put it at number 1 is just because I love Amsterdam. Like, I'm just not going to lie to you on that. So that's literally just my preference, is I just love Amsterdam. Like, the weather's better. It's just, everything's nice. It's easy to be there as a vegan. Not saying Joburg is hard, but it's just, if you've been to Amsterdam, you get me. So it's just one of those things. And so you want to start going to new places. And then from that, you want to start embracing uncomfort. Because you're going to new places, it is very uncomfortable. Like, sometimes when you see me filming at some of these marketplaces, I'm not comfortable all the time. I embrace that uncomfort. I just smile, I laugh. I know I'm going to meet some good people. And then because I put that intention out there while I'm embracing being uncomfortable, I'm getting it back. Like, if you saw the video where I put up with the ice bath challenge, do you know how uncomfortable I am to take my shirt off in front of people? Like, people see me and they're like, oh, you look great, blah, blah, blah. But you don't see the mental scars that I still have, the psychological scars of being 600 plus pounds. One of the things is I have a body image issue. The picture in my head that I see myself still as that big 600-pound person. One of the reasons why is I have excess skin. I need to have skin surgery or see if I can find enough natural herbs and things that can shrink my skin enough, which I don't know. So because of that, like, I'm uncomfortable. So when I did that ice bath challenge, I was highly uncomfortable, yo. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I embraced it and I pushed through it. And that's one of the things you have to do with the body. And then the third thing is, you have to start creating new muscle memory. Now, you may be like, Jason, what are you talking about creating new muscle memory? The way you tie your shoes, put your clothes on, how you drive a car, brush your teeth, everything you do in this life where you don't have to use cognition or actively think about it, you are running off muscle memory. This is the thing that most people don't know, and I discovered this when I started getting healthier. Our eating habits are muscle memory. Our food home is muscle memory. Our food home is the 5 to 10 foods that we eat on a weekly basis. And it's something that I came up and developed while I was going through transitioning to become healthier. So because everything that we do in muscle memory, any negative experience that we have on a consistent basis is muscle memory. So you have to create new muscle memory. Let's say if there's a guy or a girl that keep messing with people who are players, cheaters, liars, things like that, they have a muscle memory to attract that type of person. So like when some women out here like, oh, I like the bad boy. No, they have a muscle memory for that. So they're going to always attract the bad boy because that's the only person that they can see. Until you start creating new muscle memory, looking at different things, going to different events, being around different experiences, you're keeping the same muscle memory in place. And because you're keeping the same muscle memory in place and doing new things, it's going to become conflict. It's like an earthquake. It's going to open up and separate, because then you're going to start feeling like you're living 2 lives at first. Now, once you start getting that separation, that's the good thing. Because now you can actively go back to your spirit where you went in your spirit and you was like, what do I want? And you start looking at each one and being like, okay, which one here do I really want? Do I want this or do I want that? Which one's going to give me what I want? And then that's how you start differentiating the two. And you become the person that you want to be and attract all the things that you want. And because once you start doing that and you start mixing it with the spirit, and because your thoughts are already clear, because you're focused on your thoughts and priming them, you're going to start seeing certain things that you do in life are toxic. We all have toxicity in us. This is why people don't get when I'm like, people invite me to a bar or something like that, and it's like, I just decline, like, no, thank you, I'm not willing to go there. And sometimes they think like, oh man, he's so strict, regimen like that. Going to a bar serves nothing in my life of what I want. So it doesn't make my spirit happy. And it doesn't give me good thoughts when I'm in a bar. Like, I'm not thinking about business ideas. I'm not thinking about where are some places I may want to go. And then overall, I'm not happy. And so because of that, I don't allow my body to create any muscle memory around those things that don't make me happy in life. And this is how I live not only a safe life, but this is how I live a happy life, Like, it don't mean I'm not doing things. You see, like, I go to marketplaces, I go to Cracker Jacks. It don't mean I don't go out at night. I do go on dates at night sometimes. I go out to eat at restaurants. Like, I do things just like anybody else. The only difference is I don't do clubbing. I don't do bars. I don't do heavy drinking events. Like, I just stay away from those things. And it's all because I've been working on this trifecta of my mind, spirit, and body, and keeping those three in balance to keep attracting what I want for my life. And if you adopt this and just try some of these things out for you, let me know if you tried it out in the comments. Let me know if you want more details about this. I can go into more details if you would like. And just try it out. I just want to be honest with you. If you don't try nothing, it's never going to work for you. But if you just try something, even if you try it haphazardly, like, you never know what growth you can get from it. And because success is the progressive realization of a worthy idea, any little bit of growth is progressively getting you closer to your goal. And so I hope you got some value from this. Hit the like button if you like this type of content. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see every day when I upload a new video. And make sure you share this with others. You never know who may be suffering in silence, and this could be the information that could help them. And this is how we inspire each other, through collaboration and sharing. And having nothing to do with this, guys, like, if you're sitting here and you're just like, yo, I'm trying to get a little bit healthier, Jason, with a little healthier eating, just leave me a message in the comments. Say, just put ebook in there. And what I'll do, I will send you my it's so funny, I got so much stuff that I put together. I will send you my recipe book that I actually used to use for clients that I work with one-on-one. And I'll give that to you for free. It's a digital download, so you can just look at it on your phone. It's like over 70 recipes in there, and all of them are healthy. And the beautiful thing about here in South Africa, all of those ingredients you can find here also. So it's not just an American cookbook. You can find those ingredients here too. And so just leave a comment leave a comment just saying ebook, and I will get that out to you. I'll hit you up, get your email, and send that to you. And just remember, on top of that, my name's Jason, and success is simple once you know how.